Next, we're going from record cold this past weekend to now very warm conditions tomorrow. In the process, it's now snowing here in Canton at Blue Hills, exactly what the ski area and all of the skiers here want to see. Boston points north, so Revere, Lynn, right up towards Newburyport, Plum Island, Salisbury, minor coastal flooding for the most part. So we go over to rain, Boston and Worcester point south. It's still snowing north of the Mass Pike into northern New England. Commuters dealing with the chill all morning long and still coming through Copley, dressed up in layers to fight off those single-digit temperatures and, of course, wind chill values that are even lower than that. Where you see kind of the rounded edge, that's where the winds in particular can become strong, potentially gusts up to 60 miles per hour. 108, 1A. If you know someone in this area, this is where we have a potential spin-up tornado, and it's drenching rain right now. So it would be very hard to see if it is happening. Remember what you need to do in a tornado warning situation. We have the deluge now coming outside, but last night in this hotel, it was a deluge inside, and that is a scene that is repeating itself in many homes all across New England. A bullseye from Hingham, Hanover, Hanson down towards Plimpton. Those areas, it's possible we see closer to 6 inches. And that northwesterly wind, the cold air blowing in over the warm ocean water, will continue to trigger some ocean effect snow showers for Cape Cod and the islands.
You know, Michael, you showed that picture before of the beautiful sunset.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not kidding. Our entire newsroom was outside like little kids taking pictures.
It made me so
gorgeous.
happy as a meteorologist because I was waiting for it. Like, here comes the sun, here it comes. And to see everyone so excited as I was.
It's stunning.
It's nice to nerd out at the end of a storm, isn't it?
We finally got nerdy with Michael. It's about
high heels. That was
and you know,
fun.
it really was a beautiful snow, except for the fact that it's so heavy and it's weighing on those limbs, and we have so many power outages. But some parts of New England completely missed out, and it's where you wouldn't expect it. Look at northern Vermont right now. I mean, you're going to have to cut the grass because it's green right now in northern Vermont. So really a stark contrast between what we have there and in most of southern New England. But do note the cooler conditions in northern Vermont, because that will be seeping farther south over the course of the night. So any of the slush or that heavy wet snow that you haven't cleaned up now or in the next hour or so will start to freeze and create slick spots through the nighttime hours. And most of us are done with the snow. We had that beautiful sunset in many cases, but we still have some bands of snow right near the coastline. So let's zoom in a little bit. While the outer Cape is now into lighter snow along with Nantucket, that won't last because we have one more punch of snow as this winds down right now, stretching from places like Fairhaven and New Bedford, stretching up towards Lakeville, Plimpton, and Plymouth involved in this heavy band of snow. Southern end of Route 3 is certainly seeing reduced visibility at this time. The back edge is about near Weymouth, Hingham, and Hull. Scituate still squarely in the heavy snow, but not for long. Look how quickly it will shut off. On the North Shore, it's very similar. Rockport, heavy snow. Gloucester, it's lighter snow, and then basically nothing once you get towards Salem. It's a steady progression as this dissipates. Still seeing the snow wind down near Portland, the mid-coast, heavier snow reserve now for down east Maine. But remember, those power outages will continue. In fact, they're climbing right now because the snow is settling and still cracking some of the branches. This area right here, especially hard hit. Over 100,000 customers without power in Massachusetts right now, and some communities are seeing 75 to 90% of the town without power. Salisbury, the latest one to be hit by that. So here's the exit of the snow over the next 1 to 2 hours, even in far eastern Massachusetts and in Maine. In its wake, the clearing works in, the cold moves in too, and that will leave us with some slick spots for tomorrow morning when we wake up to temperatures in the teens for the most part. It's a nice recovery, though, tomorrow. Clouds will increase, yes, but temperatures will rebound to around 40 degrees in southern New England. We'll have 30s in northern New England and some snow showers and squalls, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, as a cold front nears. That front will cross late Saturday into early on Sunday, bringing colder conditions for the second half of the weekend in northern New England. But in southern New England, we're again in the 40s, doing some melting. So at least unlike last year, it's not like it's a deep freeze yet. High pressure in control for the weekend. That's why it's quiet. There's maybe a snow shower or a squall in northern New England as this cold front moves in, allowing the cold air to gradually follow it. High pressure in the cold stays locked in next week. I point that out because already on Monday, another major storm somewhere off the coastline. Just like the past couple of days, though, where that storm tracks will be key. The trend with the past couple has been for these to kind of bend left and send the heavy precipitation right towards us. That's a distinct possibility next week. And with chilly high pressure to the north, that would potentially mean snow sometime Monday or Tuesday. And there's actually a couple of systems to watch offshore. So even though your weekend is very quiet, I want to caution you that you need to keep up with the forecast because we will be fine-tuning the Monday and Tuesday forecast and thoughts very much so over the next few days. It does turn chillier next week and then downright cold next weekend, the following weekend that is, just in time for Valentine's Day. So enjoy the quiet weekend, but please keep in touch with the forecast because there will be ramifications early next week and it may impact the primary in New Hampshire too. Chris and Christy, more coming up next half hour.
Moving on to our early warning weather right now. A lot of activity happening tomorrow, but there's some snow today, too.
Just little spits of it this morning. Enough for some really festive scenes in southern New Hampshire and parts of southern Maine. Exactly. It was a dusting to an inch, so we can take that. That's okay. Just enough to get some good pictures. And now it's already starting to melt as temperatures readily warm up across New England. And tomorrow, we're way into the 50s in southern New England. So this is very, very temporary taste of winter. But you see the idea. Southern New Hampshire into portions of York County, Maine did have some minor accumulation this morning. That, for the most part, is done. We still have a couple of light snow showers or flurries here or there in parts of southern New Hampshire and near Maine as well. However, you see the vast majority of us are just dealing with clouds, some fog, some drizzle, maybe a light rain shower here or there, and that's pretty much what we get for the rest of the day. It's a very disorganized system that's moving just to the west of New England today, giving us the gloomy conditions. But back to the west, look at this gathering storm. This one means business. It will continue to organize as it moves through the Ohio River Valley over the next 24 hours, and it brings heavy rain and very gusty winds along with the warmth in here for tomorrow. As for today, though, temperatures climbing into the 30s and 40s, warmest near the south coast Cape and Islands, where temperatures will actually approach 50 degrees this afternoon. But for the most part, with an onshore wind, it's just that gray type day. The wind will stay onshore tonight, so out of the east, and that will result in temperatures that basically flatline, holding in the 30s and 40s for the most part overnight tonight. Very mild for this time of year, and that will set the table for the big warm up tomorrow. But it does come with the gusty winds and the heavy rain. So let's walk you through tomorrow hour by hour. We'll start off around 6 o'clock in the morning. Still cloudy, some fog, and some spotty light rain showers. But for the most part, the heaviest rain still remains back to the west. You see the first hint of some steady and heavy rains in the yellows there in Fairfield County in Connecticut early tomorrow morning. That will quickly expand, though, through New England over the course of the morning towards lunchtime. So we'll stop the clock again as we get towards noon, and the yellows have now really expanded. Some oranges in here. Could be an embedded thunderstorm with the heavier downpours coming in on Sunday. And notice what happens to the temperatures all the while. Climbing into the 50s in southern New England, near records, and even 40s in northern New England, way above average, and the wind will be cranking during this time as well. Very strong wind gusts out of the south and east. During the afternoon, the heavy rain will continue, so by 5 o'clock, still looking at a lot of downpours around Boston, seacoast of New Hampshire, lakes region of New Hampshire, points east into Maine. Meanwhile, south and west, showers, yes, but we'll break some holes in that, and we'll just have more spotty precipitation for the rest of the evening in southern New England, while Maine holds on to the heaviest rain longest for tomorrow. So this is a good dose of rain coming our way. It looks like a widespread 1 to 2 inches for most of New England during the second half of the weekend. When you see these values, don't take any one total literally, but look at the general trend, and that is most communities land in the 1 to 2 inch range. So there could be some localized flooding, believe it or not, tomorrow when the rain comes down heavily at times. And remember, it will be very windy at the same time. Wind arrows coming out of the southeast. The more you see, the stronger the wind. So tomorrow morning, it's breezy, but not terribly windy just yet. Look what happens around lunchtime, though. We're seeing wind gusts between 20 and 40 miles per hour in much of southern New England, and the wind will continue to ramp up during the afternoon. Enough so where we see some gusts 40 to 60 miles per hour potentially right at the immediate coastline into Maine as well, and that wind will stay gusty into the dinner hour. 45-mile-per-hour wind gust a possibility tomorrow around Rockland, Maine, for example. Again, either side of that a possibility, but you get the idea. It's very windy. Some isolated power outages will be possible, and with the wind coming in off of the water, there also could be some splashover at the time of high tide. That would be around midday and then again at midnight. So it's gloomy today. It's wet, it's windy and warm for Sunday. Cold air rushes in on Monday. Some snow showers in northern New England, then some more snow showers for all of us on Tuesday. Watching a little bit of a storm try to flare up on Wednesday. Again, perhaps some snow showers, particularly near the coastline as cold air continues to move in, and yet another storm to watch late week into next weekend. So while there are no big hits in the 10-day forecast, several systems over the next few days that we're watching very carefully. Track will be key, as it often is this time of year. Jeff?
Our meteorologist Michael Page got a first-hand look at the efforts.
With its backyard bluff disappearing, this Wellfleet cottage is in retreat.
We moved the house back about 20 feet and slid it over in the house corner.
This 4-week project is the latest of several just like it and will involve putting the house on pilings to give it more flexibility.
The dune can up a road underneath the house and give the homeowner a little longer to live in the house while it does that.
With the bluff in this area washing away at 1 to 2 feet a year, the homeowners hope to enjoy another decade by the sea, but they know they're at the mercy of Mother Nature.
Everything out here is really at risk at some point or another.
Kim Skopik says her friend moved a house to battle erosion not long ago. Even though it's not a permanent solution, she says many on the Outer Cape just want to live seaside as long as possible.
A lot of our people in town are elderly too, so I think we feel like we're just going to wait it out.
Just to the south in Eastham, the erosion at Nauset Light Beach is even more extreme.
We really saw an increase last year when we lost 18 feet of the bluff here.
So far this year, the loss is closer to 12 feet, enough to wipe out the stairs leading to the beach again.
It's the 5th year in a row, and historically we had lost the stairs every 3 to 4 to 5 years.
With a replacement cost of $115,000, Cape Cod National Seashore is now looking at more resilient alternatives like a ramp or removable stairs.
We're really concerned about maintaining the access.
The erosion problem is so serious here at Nauset Light Beach that the National Park Service is now considering moving the facilities right now near the shoreline all the way to the back of the property, then bus people closer to the beach. That could happen over the next several years. In Eastham, Massachusetts, I'm meteorologist Michael Page, NECN.